Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to learn about time with the subtopic of reading and writing time. So by the end of the lesson, you should be able to use minute hand to show and tell time for every 5 minutes. And then you should be able to show and tell time in hours and minutes. So let's start the lesson. When we are talking about time or clock, there are two most common type of clock that you will see everywhere you go. The first one, we call it digital clock. Digital clock is the type of the clock that you can see in the middle here without the body of the circular clock. It is written in hour and in minute. The first two digit is what we call by hour, and then the last two digit is the minute part. So when you are seeing this kind of clock, it is pretty easy to tell the time. Like what I have right now is 1 o'clock. And then you can say something like 2:20. That means 2 hour and then 20 minutes, 2:20. Let me show you. If I have something like this, it will be 2:19, 2:21, 3:54. It is easy to tell times when you are using digital clock. However, there is another type of clock that is quite common, and we call it analog clock. Analog clock is made up of the body of the clock itself, which consists of number 1 until number 12, and then usually it will come with two hands. There will be one short hand, and there will be one long hand. The long hand will be called minute hand, and then the short hand will be called hour hand. Like what I show you right now, it is called 1 o'clock because the hour is 1 and then the minute is in o'clock. When the minute hand is pointing at 12, it is called o'clock. For the hour to move 1 hour, for the hour hand to move 1 hour, the minute hand needs to move 1 turn. I will show you that. Let's see the minute hand is from 12. When I move the minute hand, the hour hand moves slowly as well, as you can see. Let's say that my minute hand stop at 6. You see that the short hand or the hour hand is not at 1 anymore, but not at 2 as well. It is like in the middle of 1 at 2. Exactly in the middle, right? The closer the minute hand, I will move the minute hand again. The closer the minute hand to the 12, the closer the short hand to the next hour. When I move the minute hand to 10, it is even closer to 2 o'clock. And once the minute hand go back to 12, that's what we call 2 o'clock. Another 1 hour pass by, and then we call it 3 o'clock. And then, if the minute hand only pass half of the clock, which will stop at the 6, we call it half of the clock, right? And we used to call this half past 3 because it's only halfway, but it's not at 4 yet. It's only passing 3. So that's why we call it half past 3. And I believe you have learned this when you are grade 1. So we are not going to concentrate much about this. Let me move the clock back to 1 o'clock. So you know how to determine 1 o'clock. Maybe some of you still remember how to name this. This is a quarter past 1, half past 1, and then a quarter to 2. But what about, and then 2 o'clock, of course. What about if the minute hands only stop at 1? Do we call it 2 hour and 1 minute? What about if the minute hand move to 5? Is it 5 minutes after 2? Remember, just now we are at 2 o'clock. So the times keep on going, and then now the minute hand stop at this number 5. Does it mean it is 5 minutes after 2? Well, I don't think so. We have to remember that in 1 hour, there are 60 minutes. So before you go to 3 o'clock, the minute hand has to move 60 minutes. And if you count the minute according to the big number, you will have at most 10 minutes, 11 minutes, and then by the 12 minutes, your hour is at 3 already. That's why you cannot say 1 minute per number. No. And this is where your skill to skip count by 5 is needed. This big number is actually for the hour hand. You can just see the number and then that is the hour. However, for the minute, if you can see this small number on the edge of the clock, that is the minute. If you see, we have 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, 30 minutes, 35 minutes, 40 minutes, 45 minutes, 50 minutes, 55 minutes, and then 60 minutes. But when it reaches 60, it is called o'clock because the new hour has started, 4 o'clock now. So it's pretty easy to find out the minutes. However, when you are seeing the normal analog clock, as far as I know, there is not many analog clock that will show you the minute number. The clock that I have right now on your screen is a clock that is meant for study. That's why we can see the minute. However, when you are going to your school, at your home, you can see your clock and usually there won't be any minutes there. So today, we are going to learn on how to read a clock when the long hand or the minute hand is not at 12 or not at 3, not at 6, and not at 9. How should we call the time? How should we write the time and how should we name the time? Okay. I will give you 2 simple tricks. Before that, we have to learn about the moving of minutes. That's why I'm going to hide the hour hand. So we are going to concentrate on the minute hands. Just now we know that it is for a clock, right? So now I tell you that some time has passed when I am waiting for my friends. I wonder how many minutes has passed if the minute hand is in this position. Well, the things that we can do is we can count the minutes. We start at 1, but we count it as 5. Remember? We will count it by skip counting of 5. So we will go 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25. 25 minutes has passed since 4 o'clock. But then, my friends hasn't come yet. So I keep on waiting and waiting. And now, the minutes hand is showing this, is at big number 9. How many minutes has passed after 4 o'clock? I wonder. The same thing, we will count the minute. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. So 45 minutes has passed since 4 o'clock. If I keep on waiting for another 15 minutes, and now the minute hand go back to 12. Can you guess what time is it now? Remember that we start at 4 o'clock, and then I have waited for 1 whole round of the minute hands, which is 60 minutes. So now, I am at 5 o'clock. That's how you see the minute hand. So, I hope you understand how to count the minutes. Now we will learn how to write the time in a digital form. Let's say that I had this 5 o'clock. How do you write it in digital form? In digital form, you will write like how it is shown in the middle, 5 because the hour is 5, and then 00 because it's o'clock. Look at the minute hand, it is at 12, right? That's why it's 5 o'clock. When the minute hands move, I will turn off the digital. When the minute hands move by 5. So now it is 5:05, right? I will show you the digital clock. You see that the hour do not move, do not change. It is still 5. but then the minute has changed from 00 to 5 minutes. Now, I will show you again when the long hand moves another 5 minutes. Now it shows you 5:10, 5:15, 5:20, 5:25, 5:30, 5:35, 5:40, 5:45, 5:50, 5:55. Can you guess what is the next 5 minutes will be? If you move another 5 minutes, it will be 5:60. However, we do not say it 5:60, but we say it 6 o'clock because we have come to a new hour, right? So it's pretty easy to write the time. The first thing that you have to do is look at the short or look at the hour and then count the minutes. Let me repeat. This is how you determine the time from a clock. Look at the hour and then count the minute. Let me show you again. Let's see if I move this clock right here. According to our rules, we will have to look at the hour. Look at the hour, what hour it is. This is not 10, it's past 10. It is after 10, right? But is it at 11 already? No, not yet. The shorthand is not moving to 11. So it is still at 10. 10, look at the hour. 10, you just look. And then count the minute. Look at the minute. We cannot just say 4, but we have to count it. Let's count together with me. Remember, we count the minute by 5. 5, 10, 15, 20. So 10, 20. That's why it is written as 10, 20. Let's try another one. This time I will go anti-clockwise. What time is it now? Remember the step? Look at the hour. What is our hour? This is this shorthand between 3 and 4. So that means it's passing 3 going to 4, but not yet at 4, right? So we say the hour as 3. How about the minute? Look at the hour, count the minute. Let's count the minute together. 5, 10. So by doing that, we know that this is 3, 10. This is 3:10. Let's go another round. What time is it now? Remember, look at the hour. The hour is between 5 and 6. That means the clock is actually moving from 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock. However, it's not yet at 6. That means it stays at 5, right? Even though it is very close, if you can see, the short hour is very close to the 6. However, it is not at 6 yet. So that's why we still say 5. 5 and then count the minute. Let's count it together. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Great. So now we know that this is 5:40. 5 the hour and then 40 the minutes. And then you write it as 5:40. If you notice, all one-digit number always written with the beginning 0, and that is very important. So you will write 0, 5, 40 instead of 5 and 40 only. You will start, because if it's only 5 or only 6, you will start with the 0 in the beginning. That's why when the minute hand is at this number, you can see that the hour is 6 because it is going to 7, right? Now this is already 6 o'clock and it is going to 7. Look at the hour and then we count the minute. When we count the minute, it is 5. But instead of writing with only 5, we write it as 0, 5. Okay? I think it's pretty easy. Well, I have prepared several practice for us to see if we can determine the time that is shown by our clock. Let's see here. I had this clock. What time is it? Well, if you remember the rules, it will be look at the hour and count along. So let's look at the hour. Remember, hour means the shorthand. Look at the hour. If you look at the hour is pointing in the middle of 2 and 3, which means it is going from 2 o'clock and it wants to go to 3 o'clock, but then it's not arrived at 3 yet. That way we can consider this is still 2 o'clock. But 2 o'clock, 2 hours, the hour is 2, but how many minutes? We look at the hour and then we count the minute. Let's count the minute. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So this is 2:35. And this is how you write 2:35. You write the 2 on the left side, you put 2 dots in the middle, and then you write the 35 on the right side. This dots here is used to separate between the hour and the minute. Very good. Let's continue with another clock. What time is it? If you look at the hour, it is in the middle of 1 and 2, which means it's not yet at 2, so it's still at 1. So it is 1, and then count the minute. Let's count by 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. 1:40. And this is how you write 1:40. Let's see the next clock. What time is it? Remember, look at the hour. The hour means the short. Look at the short. So the hour is 3 because it's not yet at 4, so it is still 3. And then count the minute. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So it is 3:25. And this is how you write 3:25. Let's continue with another hour. Let's see if you can guess the time. What time is it? Do you guess 8:30? Because the correct answer is 8:30. Look at the hour. It is 8. It is after 8. And then count the minute. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 8:30. What time is it? Remember, look at the hour. The hour shows us that it is after 7. So it is still counted as 7. And then what is the minute? Let's count the minute. 5, 10, 15, 20. So it is 7:20. What time is it? Look at the hour. It is 11. Count the minute. 5. Remember, when we are doing the minute, every big number has to be counted as 5. So how do you write 11:5? Do you still remember? Remember that when you write 11:5, you will write 11 and then 05 instead of 1 digit 5. What time is it? Look at the hour. If you look at the hour, it is pretty close to 8. So you might mistaken it by 8, but it is not 8. It's not yet at 8. Remember, look at the minute. When you see the minute is almost going back to 12. That's why the shorthand or the hour hand is pretty close to the next hour. Because the minute hand almost reaching 12. That's why it's pretty close. However, if you see it clearly, it's not yet at 8. It is still at 7. That's why we call this 7 for the hour. And then let's count the minute by 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. That's why this is 7:45. And this is how you write 7:45. Let's see the next question. What time is it? Look at the hour. 2. Count the minute. 5, 10, 15, 20. 2:20. This is how you write 2:20. What time is it? Look at the hour. After 9. So we call it 9. And then count the minute. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 9:30. And this is how you write 9:30. What time is it? This is pretty much the same with what we have met before. When you see the minute, it is pretty close to 12. That's why it is very, very close to this 5. However, when you look at the shorthand clearly, the hour is not 5 yet. It is still at 4. It is after 4. 4, and then let's count the minute. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. So it is 4:50. What time is it? Look at the hour. Not yet at 1, so it is still at 12. 12. Let's count the minute. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. This is 12:35. What time is it? Look at the hour. After 9, count the minute. 5, 10. 9, 10. This is how you write 9, 10. Now let's try something else. Let's say that I give you 2:55. Do you know how to draw 2:55? The same way you do when you want to determine the hour, what you will do is you will see the hour hand first. The hour hand is at 2. However, you do not put it exactly at 2, because when you see the minute hand, you know that it's past 2. So it should be in the middle between 2 and 3. That is for the hour. And then the long hand or the minute, you have to count until 55. And then you should get this clock. You see, why do I put my hour hand very close to 3? Because the minutes is almost 60. That means it's almost reaching 3 o'clock. So I will put it after the 2 and very close to 3. And then I will count the minute. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. That's why this is how I will draw 2:55. Let's try another one. 7:15. How do you draw 7:15? Look at the shorthand. Look at the hour hand, The hour hand tells you that it is 7, so you will draw the shorthand to 7. But when you see the minute hand, it is passing 7. It is not 7 o'clock. So you have to put your shorthand in the middle between 7 and 8. Right? The hour is 7, but past 7 or after 7. And then the minute, we will count until 15. That's why you should get this. Do you see? Look at the hour. It is after 7. Count the minute. 5, 10, 15. That's why I put the minute in 15. Okay? So that's how you determine what time. And then that's how you draw a clock from a given time as well. I hope this helps you, and I hope you understand this. Thank you very much.